This German soldier holds a Christmas tree and walks straight into the heart of the battlefield. It is nothing short of suicide. Miraculously, not a single enemy fires a shot. Some even pick up their bagpipes, playing along to the Christmas carol he sings.
Guten Abend, Engländer!
Good evening, Germans, but we're not English, we're Scottish.
Moments later, soldiers who have fought each other for months climb out of their trenches one after another. They carry no weapons, only bottles of champagne. Joy fills the air as they swap gifts. They even tell their enemies about their own wives. This is one of the most legendary mysteries of World War I, the Christmas Truce. It was not until more than 90 years later that the truth behind this miracle finally came to light, found in the diary of the commander of Germany's Saxon Regiment. In July 1914, World War I exploded into existence. Britain and France forged an alliance, standing side by side to repel Germany's brutal advance. After 5 months of relentless, bloody fighting, the Western Front became a bloodbath. The frontline soldiers were exhausted, their spirits broken. Every single one of them prayed for the war to end, desperate to return to their families. In stark contrast, the men who had started this war celebrated Christmas in lavish palaces, surrounded by fine food and wine. On Christmas Eve, the artillery fire finally fell silent. Yet soldiers of all nations were ordered to stay on high alert. Already drained of all will to fight, the men could not help but complain. Christmas Eve felt like any other night of war. Sprink was a German soldier and also a renowned tenor. He had no taste for the Kaiser's lavish Christmas feast. All he wanted was to go to the front lines to sing for his brothers in the trenches. His wife Anna couldn't bear to let him go, so she volunteered to follow him straight to the front lines. Sprink sang to his comrades the song "I'm Dreaming of Home." His voice drifted across the no-man's land, cutting through the cold air and reaching the French and Scottish trenches on the other side. A wave of longing washed over every soldier who heard it. An elderly Scottish pastor could no longer hold back. He raised his bagpipes and played along. Sprink from sea for a split second, then sang louder, pouring his whole heart into every note. To make sure every soldier could hear, he climbed to the highest spot, daring to expose his body to enemy gunfire. But to everyone's shock, the Scottish soldiers climbed out of their trenches, cheering and clapping, their bagpipes still playing in perfect harmony. Heartened by their response, Sprink grabbed the Christmas tree and sang as he walked straight into the middle of the battlefield. Laughter filled the air. It was hard to believe these men had been killing each other only hours before. The German lieutenant rushed over, urging Sprink to return to the trench. But then the Scottish lieutenant and the French lieutenant stepped forward too. The Scottish lieutenant made a simple proposal, a ceasefire just for Christmas Eve.
The outcome of this war won't be decided tonight.
In the end, the three sides agreed to a truce for one night. Suddenly, a flare shot up into the night sky from nowhere. Blazing bright like a firework, it lit up the entire battlefield. Before long, all the soldiers climbed over the barbed wire, edging cautiously towards the heart of the battlefield. In this moment, they were no longer enemies, just tired men, all longing to go home, all sick of this war. They shared wine and food, laughing, singing, and talking. They were like old friends reunited after a long separation. The Scottish pastor set up a simple altar to hold mass. Soldiers from all three nations gathered round. Though their faiths differed, they all removed their hats and prayed devoutly in that moment. Salvation and grace were for everyone, no exceptions. Then Anna, the German songstress, stepped forward to sing a Christmas carol. Though their languages were different, it did nothing to stop tears of emotion from falling. As distant artillery fire rumbled, all the soldiers wished each other good night and returned to their trenches. Friendly regret lingered in their eyes. The next day, German soldiers heard digging sounds outside their trench. Was he planting landmines? As the German soldiers hesitated to fire, the pastor ran out, waving a white flag. It turned out Jonathan had his brother killed in battle the day before. He cared nothing for the danger. All he wanted was to dig a grave and bury his brother properly. This led to a second meeting between the three commanders. It was Christmas Day, the birth of Jesus. Could we call another truce just for one more day, to exchange the bodies of their fallen comrades and bury them on this sacred day? It was only right and fair. The three lieutenants reached an agreement in no time. To the mournful tune of a Scottish bagpipe elegy, soldiers from all three nations returned to the battlefield, burying their fallen comrades side by side, regardless of nationality. The pastor's prayers comforted every lost soul. When it was done, they gathered in small groups to play cards. Some even kicked around a soccer ball. This fragile peace gave them clarity. Their bitter enemies were just ordinary men, just like them. They all had wives and families waiting back home, just as they did. They exchanged addresses, promising to visit each other once the war ended. But the reality of war remained unchanged. The German lieutenant received an order: artillery would bombard the enemy trenches in 10 minutes. Yet his heart softened. He ran to warn the enemy soldiers, inviting them to take cover in his trench. Moments later, soldiers from all three sides huddled together inside the cramped German trench, riding out the bombardment. Then the Scottish lieutenant offered the same kindness. He invited the Germans to his trench. For it was an unspoken rule: after the Germans fired, Scottish artillery would return the favor. Once more, the three sides moved together, this time to the Scottish trench. The artillery struck again. Somehow, they survived. They shook hands in gratitude for one another. Had it not been for that truce, they all might have been cold corpses by then. Every soldier's hatred for the war had reached its breaking point. They wrote home, telling their families of that Christmas Eve miracle. Governments intercepted these letters and learned of the unauthorized ceasefire. Their leaders flew into a rage, sending new officers to the front lines to end the truces for good. Death returned to the once peaceful battlefield. A soldier stepped out of the German trench. The new British commander ordered his men to fire at once. But the soldiers hesitated, firing a few shots into the sky instead. The commander was livid with rage. In the end, it was Jonathan who pulled the trigger, hitting the soldier. His brother had died in a German artillery strike. He'd never joined the truce celebrations, never able to let go of his grief and hatred. The French lieutenant sprinted onto the battlefield in horror. Turns out the man who'd been shot was no German soldier. He was French. The war had kept him from his mother for far too long. With the Germans' help, he'd worn a German uniform, crossing enemy lines to see her one last time. After this incident, the German crown prince saw the gravity of what had happened and deemed it nothing short of high treason. He ordered all soldiers who joined the ceasefire to be sent by train to the far more brutal Eastern Front to fight against the Russians. They would never see their families again. The crown prince stamped on a soldier's harmonica, shattering it to pieces. But could this truly crush their hope for peace? As the train pulled away, the melody of "I'm Dreaming of Home" drifted out from the carriages. On the British side, all soldiers who'd taken part in the truce were transferred to other war zones. The pastor who'd held mass for the enemy was reassigned. A new pastor arrived, using his sermons to renegade the soldiers' hatred and hunger for battle. Who truly walks the righteous path in God's eyes? It is a question worth pondering. In any case, as this story ends, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and peace always.